Yihiyu, we've seen that in the weekly portion of Kedoshim last week when we talked about the difference between Kadosh and Kedoshim, or we've talked about what happens to the word specifically in the transition between Kadosh and Kedoshim, and how the Kamatz turns into a moving Sheva. Kedoshim yihiyu lelohem, velo yechalelu shem Elohihem, כי את אישי אדוני לחם אלוהיהם הם מקריבים והיו קודש. So you can see the word Elohehem, Elohehem, Elohehem. What happens to the Aleph here as opposed to the Aleph here and here? In the second and third examples here, we get the Aleph being reduced with a moving Sheva, okay, as opposed to a Chataf Segol instead of a moving Sheva, as we've seen with Emor, and with Leloheihem, we get the Aleph like Vayomer, a complete quiescent Aleph, okay? Kedoshim yihiyu lelohem, velo yechalelu shem Eloheihem. Why should they be holy? Because they get that access to the sacred room, to the control room, where they bring forth the Ishei Adonai, the bread of God. Again, very deep discussion. I think that we all understand that God does not require this bread. It's not that he is being nourished by the people, and yet the work that is done at the temple is presenting something of that sort, okay, corresponding with that pre-biblical concept of feeding God, like idol worshippers would view this. And the worship in the temple is kind of dealing with that idea, okay? Even if obviously not in the same crude way of idol worshippers. And the priest himself is a representative, so to speak, in that sacred space, okay? Some would say maybe like a surgeon, okay, who has to be super clean because he's entering that surgery room, okay? So we've talked about the idea of Kodesh and Kedoshim, okay? Kodesh is the noun and Kedoshim is the plural of Kadosh, as we've seen last week. Ishei Adonai lechem. Again, the word lechem is bread, but oftentimes is generally referring to food, and specifically may refer to meat or flesh of the sacrifices. Interestingly enough, in Arabic, the word lahm means not bread, but rather meat. Okay, so that's lechem. As far as some of the elements here, we have makrivim, and you noted that makrivim is with a deficient spelling, which kind of slightly threw you there off to consider it. Maybe it's a samech. Okay, this defective spelling, or scriptio defectiva in Latin, if you want to sound super smart, is missing the letter yod before the mem. This is an example where the participle makrivim is serving as a verb, okay? That is the predicate, okay, in the sentence, hem makrivim, okay? Hem would be the subject. Makrivim is the predicate. Again, based on the participle form, this is the he-fil masculine plural participle. And the object of it, et ishe Adonai lechem Elohehem, this is what the object of the sacrifice is. And you can see the definite direct object marker et preceding it. So the reasons for the limitation for the priests to be limited more than the others is because they are offering the offerings of God, and so they should be holy. Now,